All right, this silly phone. Silly phone. Let's see if it's going to want me to do it this way. Good morning, everybody. Hi. This new phone and I are not the best of friends. But what we're going to talk about today, and this really is going to be a really short video, and I promise you that because I have to get into work. But one of the things I wanted to say to you this morning, or not say, but ask you a question. If you've stumbled since you started the ketogenic eating plan or low carb or whatever it is you're following, if you've stumbled on your plan, does that, hi Kim, how are you? And hi Denise and Sherry. I'm not going to be able to say hello to everybody because I've got to go in real quick. And I was listening to a podcast, sorry for moving the phone around. I was listening to a podcast this morning on our mindset and how important it is. And so my question to you is, if you've struggled since you started either back on keto or maybe it's your first time doing a low carb eating plan, if you've struggled, does this make you a failure? And that's a good question for us to ask each other, because what's interesting is when we feel like we failed, it's very easy to just say, oh, I'm a failure. I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to make it. I might as well just not do it. And that is human nature. And that's a story we're telling ourselves. And this guy on this podcast was talking about rewrite your story. If you have failed on something, it does not mean that you are a failure. Listen to me carefully. If you have failed, if you have stumbled, if you have gone off plan, if you just ate 3 donuts yesterday, you might have failed on your goal for the day, but you are not a failure. I want you to just, if you're not driving or doing something dangerous, I want you honestly to close your eyes and I'm not a failure. I might have stumbled. I might have had a problem. I might not have made the best choices, but I'm not a failure. And I was listening to that and I thought, God, okay, I was looking at my watch. I was like, can I get to work in time? So in the parking lot before I go in for my 9 o'clock meeting, do I have time to encourage you? And please share this with anyone you know who's struggling. You're not a failure. You're learning. You're developing new habits. Your self-talk needs to match up with your goals. Do you feel that you deserve the right to be healthier or thinner or whatever that is? As I was listening to the podcast, a flock of geese flew, you know how they fly in formation, it's really cool. And the one guy's leading, he's like leading the way, and he's the one that everyone else is following. And I'm watching them sort of go across the interstate because I'm sitting in like stuck traffic. And then I see this little guy, I don't know if he was little or not, but he's sort of trying to catch up. He didn't just sit himself down and say, well, I'm not as fast as they are. I'm not losing weight as fast as those guys are, especially the guy in the lead. Oh my gosh, he must be perfect. He must never fail. They take turns, by the way. Don't give up. If you've stumbled, it's okay. If you failed, and you're out of ketosis or you've, whatever it is, and this doesn't have to apply just to eating, you're not a failure. You're human. You're learning. You're growing. Say to yourself, I am worth it. I am not a failure. I am worthy of getting better health. And if I'm that goose struggling and following everybody else, if my trip is slower, if I do have to stop and rest, I'm not a failure. I'm a human who's learning. And that's all there is for today. That's it. I got to go in. You guys have a great day. You're very much worth it. I very much appreciate you. You are not a failure. You're just learning. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start again. You guys take care.